Welcome to Chellington 17, episode 22, with me, Mr. Sealy P. So I've done a little bit of contracting. I've just set the harvester off on field 15 with straw swaths on. There's a reason for that. If we just have a quick look in the map, as you can see, field 11 is on its first growth stage. If I go over to the soil composition, there's that big section in the middle that needs another fertilising to get it onto its final fertilising state. Once field 10 goes on to its first growth stage, that will need the same. So I'm at the store. In the interest of keeping it different and not doing the same thing repeatedly, whilst the weeder is working perfectly and will work on multiple growth stages, we've now worked that out, it's quite narrow, and I've used various different sprayers before, so I've decided that, where is it? My mind's gone completely blank. Fertilizer spreaders. I'm going to get the Bredal, I think it's Bredal, the Bredal K165 fertilizer spreader. It's got 24 metre reach, which is twice what the weeder is, which will mean it'd be quicker for doing these jobs, and it's got a 20,000 litre tank, so no upgrades available. I'm going to buy that because it's going to make doing some of these jobs way quicker. This is a big brute, it really is. So have a quick look out here at this monster, and it really is an absolute monster. That is huge. So anyway, I've bought over the big massive Ferguson because I thought it's going to need that. Actually, let's have a quick check. What does it require? It doesn't say what horsepower it requires, but I'd imagine because it's big and it's heavy, it would require a bit. So, actually, let's have a quick look around the whole thing. Look at the details on it. Okay. I think you can unload the seed if you haven't used it. Someone mentioned that to me the other day. If you use a seed or a fertiliser spray, lease it, and it's still got seed in it, you can actually unload that seed out of it before you give it back, so you don't waste it. Something worth trying, giving it a bit of thought to. Okay, yeah, it still looks big. So let's have a look. Open cover. Wow. Okay. So here's the next thing I need to do then. Is I need to buy enough fertiliser to fill it up. And this is going to be expensive at the end of the day. So if I go into the store menu, the online store menu, rather than going into the store itself. Right, solid fertiliser, big bag, 1,600 for 1,000 litres. So for 10,000 litres, that's going to be 16,000. So £32,000 should fill it, which means I need 20 of these. So 1, 2, and so on. That's the most it will let me put down, probably because I've got this part in the way. So start with this side and start filling this up. This may take some time. That was brilliant driving, that was. Good grief, it's like I'm using these. I shall continue this process until this is full, but it is starting to fill up, you can see it inside. So this is it, last bit going in, nice and full. Although I seem to have lost 2 litres somewhere in the process, I'm not quite sure how that's happened. Yeah, 19,998 litres. How I've lost 2 litres, I have no idea. Now, the only downside to this trailer, you see the weight of that compacting those tyres down. That's brilliant, look at that. Anyway, it's got very wide tyres, so if you had crop destruction mod on, this would absolutely devastate the crops in your field. It really would. So, we'll get across the field here. I've got to remember where the strip is. And that's not easy to see, is it? Let's check the map. Probably went straight past it, didn't I? Yes, of course I did. And soil composition. Let's see where I am in relation to it, so I can try and get this right. Probably come over to the left a bit. Let's try it from here and see how we get on. Let's turn this on. See what the spray pattern's like. That's quite wide. Now it looks like it's going down very quickly, and to be fair it is going down very quickly, but the good thing with it is that because it's got such a wide spread it's going to go down quickly, but I'm covering much more ground and way quicker than the weeder would have done. But what I do need to do is very quickly stop, turn that off a second, check the map again, make sure I've covered what I needed to. Yep, perfect. Nice. So I'll let the worker carry on with that. Hopefully it will turn the right way, and that puts that on its final fertilising state. And it is turning the right way. Fantastic, right. Big baler. Well, it's called a big baler, isn't it? Stupidly. I think this is the, what was it? The LB44B? Yeah, LB44B. So hook this up. I'm going to take that to field 15. Put the beacons on. Nice little flashing beacon. Oh, something I forgot to mention actually on my baling, on the video about the baling. The lights. Rear work lights on it, which I forgot I didn't show. Plus it's also got the indicators are equipped and working. Which are fantastic. So leave the beacons on, we'll head to field 15. Like I say, I haven't done square bales before, so I thought I'd give square bales a go. I'm going to do straw bales, and I'm probably going to do some hay bales and put them over by the cows to give me options. So rather than just using the silo king to pick stuff up off the floor all the time, I can put bales in it as well. I also want to check, and I'm sure somebody will probably tell me yes it does, no it doesn't, whether or not the bale shredder takes square bales. Something I thought I'd give it a go. I don't know if it does. I'm sure a while back someone mentioned on a video somewhere that it did, but I don't know for definite. So here we are, field 15. And this works exactly the same as the balers on the in-game ones already. It's just something a bit different. I thought I would give it a go. So let's open it up. Lower the pickup. When I turn it on, you should see it start to move in there. Plus that cool noise. Beacons off, don't need those anymore. And let's make some square bales. These will actually go really quick because it's got quite a wide header on the harvester. So there's quite a lot in each swath, in all honesty. There we go. Now, as I said in episode probably 1, maybe even 2, there's no bale counter on the baler, but in the in-game menu, have a look, it will tell you how many bales you've created in the session. Big old pile at the end. Make sure I get it all. Oh, so drop that one off. Why not? No, I've missed a bit. That cannot be allowed. What's that? 4 bales for the strip. So I need 16 if I'm going to rent the Arcusin like auto stack of a square bales. That takes 16 bales. So I need 16 at least. So I might have a couple extra. It's not the end of the world. That's why I didn't leave the harvester just going, because I didn't need that many. Just enough to do 1 stack of each, and then they're sitting there to be used. Like I say, haven't done square baling, so give it a go. This is a brilliant mod. I really am impressed with it. Like I said in the video, because you can pick kind of which manufacturer. I know it doesn't cover all manufacturers, but it's pretty cool. I suppose for the purists I should have had a Massey Ferguson one on the Massey Ferguson tractor, but it won't always be the Massey Ferguson tractor that's pulling it. So yeah. So what I'll do is quickly check in here. And it says, where are we? Created bales 10 so far. I'll carry on till I get to about 16. So just remembering that I had 2 still in the chamber, so to speak, and it started on the next one actually. I have actually made 18. It's just going to be really awkward. So I'm going to fold this up, lift the pick up. This will need to be used again when I do hay bales. Now, it's no point making grass bales because on Chellington it won't accept grass bales over the rail at any of the grass troughs. On Goldcrest Valley it did, but on the modded maps it doesn't. So there's no point making grass bales. You can't make silage bales with square bales because there's no square bale wrapper. There might be on a PC mod, but there isn't in-game. So you can only make silage bales with round bales. So I'm going to do a stack, or just over a stack of straw bales and a stack of hay bales, and they will be used for the cows. So I'm going to take this baler and I'm going to put it at the field where it's going to be used next when we do the hay bales. I'm not going to tell you where that is because that's going to be a surprise. Not much of a surprise, there aren't many fields to choose from to be fair, but it will be a surprise. As you can see, top right hand corner, my money has gone down. I have been leasing equipment. I have got the Arcusin FSX6372 auto stack. I'm over on field 15 and I'm going to pick up the straw bales and take them back over to the farm and put them somewhere over near the cows. I've also leased some other equipment which I'm going to show you in a little while, but I'm going to start off with this first. So first things first, operating position. This should hold I think 16 bales, as far as I'm aware it's 16 bales. Always was. The only downside to this as well, when I did it on FS15 I would never normally stack it 16 high because the bale stacks became very wobbly. When you were unloading they had a tendency to fall over, so I would only ever normally go about 10, but I'll do 16. I have got 18 bales on the field, which is a bit annoying, but what I'll probably do is take the ones from the top end first and then the other ones can stay down by the kind of main gate. I can always pick them up at a later date. I made a right hash of that, didn't I? That was awful. Good grief, what was I thinking? So I'll carry on until I've got 16 on board and then take it over to the farm and unload. But that's it, that's the auto stack. If you haven't used one before, it makes life so much easier for baling. You can do it by hand, of course you can, with bale spikes and flatbed trailers and all the rest of it, but this exists. It's real, it's not a made up piece of equipment, so you know what? I'm gonna use it. So the question now is where to put the bales. Probably around the corner from here actually would be the obvious place. Just trying to think of a place that's flat really, that I can get to them relatively easily. Yeah, I'll put them up there on the concrete. That'll work. I will zoom in a little bit only because reversing is not my forte, as you may have noticed before. With trailers, I'm pretty shocking at it in all honesty. So, if I now straighten this up, hopefully, when I come to pull away, I should be able to pull away straight. So now then, to unload, fingers crossed on this, unload bales. Now hopefully this won't do like it does with the round baler and kick them off the back, because it kind of has this sudden jolt. Fingers crossed then. Unload bales here. Yes. Oh, that's way better than it was on 15. Now if I drive straight forward now, it should come off no problem at all without toppling over. He says. There we go. That's it, 16 bales delivered. Lower the platform. Why is that stack wobbling? It's got a mind of its own. Dancing bale stack, nice. Okay, so that's the straw bales done. What I'm going to do now is head over to the field where I'm going to be doing the hay bales. Put this to one side because I will need it later on for collecting them. Actually, don't need the beacons on really now. Conveyor's still working really well for the pigs, and I've bought another one and put it over with the sheep, so that keeps their feeding area clean without me having to do anything. Makes life much easier. I know it's a bit cheaty, but at the end of the day, anything for an easy life. I am over on field 18. Of course I'm on field 18. It's the only big field that will accommodate what I need to do, and I've got some equipment I have leased. So starting off with over here, I've got the what was it, the Lely Lotus 1250 Profi, I think it is. That's a tedder. I have got the baler, which I've used already. And I've got the Arcusin Auto Stack over there, which I'm going to use later. These two will need to be used in a minute. And then over on the tractor, this is going to look a bit odd, the Massey Ferguson, I have got the Novacat, which I've had the whole time, the Novacat 301 ED front mower. I've attached it to the Novacat X8 ED. Because they can combine, this gives you some interesting options. On all the sort of promotional videos, you saw these together on the back of a Valtra. You can put them on the front. They'll work, no problem at all. So it's on the front. On the back, I've got the windrower, and it's a Kuhn, I think it is, GA9531 windrower. Now, when this butterfly mower is open, it's got a width of 8.4 metres, and the windrower's got a width of 9.3, so that'll work no problem at all. And when the tedder's open, that's got a width of, I think, 12 metres, 12.5 metres, so that'll work as well. The one down from this is too small. It's only 6 metres, so it doesn't work particularly well with the 8.4 metre mower. Now, making hay bales. You don't really have to do that on 17. If you're doing round bales, the baler will bale grass bales, and then you can silage wrap them, which will give you silage bales. So you don't really need to do hay bales unless you are just going to do bales for the cows, rather than like I've done, where I've got loose grass and loose straw, and you use the Silo King. But even then, the Silo King turns grass into hay. So there hasn't been any real reason to make hay up until this point. But because I'm doing square bales and I need to make hay bales, I need to turn grass into hay. To do that, you need a tedder. But this is what I was going to show you first of all. Now, this may have been done before, and if it has, wonderful. I was just asking myself the question, firstly, would it work? So if I go to the front and lower the whole lot down, if I unfold it first, and then I'll go to the very front mower and unfold that as well, like so. Now what you can do, you can lower them independently. If I go to the rear front mower and press, where are we, lower mower, it lowers the whole unit down and the whole unit up. So you can do it all from one, or you can go just to the front mower if you want to and lower that alone. It's entirely up to you, but it's easier to lower the whole lot together. So lower that all down and turn those on. So moving to the back of the vehicle, then I've got the windrower. So I'm going to open this up. It's taking a long time. I'm going to lower it and turn it on. So what will happen now is I'll mow, and because I'm mowing more, it will work perfectly, and then it should windrow what I've cut behind me. Like so. Is my front mower not working? Hang on. No, it's not turned on. Oh, I wonder why there doesn't seem to be much. Let's try this again, shall we? I'm not sure that's even still cutting. Is it cutting or not? Yes, it seems to be cutting. Okay, so I can go along like this, cutting grass with the wider mower setup, and then windrowing behind me as I go, which means that if I then come along with a baler or anything else, I'm getting far more yield on the grass as I go. So that's the first little test I wanted to do, just to see if that would work, and it does. So front mowers, just windrow that last little bit, then go to the back, turn off the windrower, lift the windrower, and fold the windrower. Okay, so that'll work with grass, which is fantastic, exactly what I wanted to be able to try, and that will work. So if I was doing grass bales, I can now just crack along behind that with a baler and pick them up. So what I'm going to do, left these open, haven't I? Never mind. I'm going to drop off the windrower for the time being. I'm going to need it later, but drop that off. I'm now going to put the tedder on the front. Now you notice, because the weight over the front, the back's a bit slippy, so it needs to have something on the back. So now I'm going to put the tedder on, and this is what I was intending to do because I need to make hay. So I'm going to unfold the tedder. While I'm doing that, turn on that one, turn on that one. Now the tedder, I'm going to lower it and turn it on. So what will happen now is I'm going to cut the grass and then tedder it at the same time. So as I cut, it cuts, and then the tedder will come along behind and tedder it. And there we go. I'm making hay all in one go. Now, obviously, technically in the real world, the grass you cut needs to dry out for a little bit first before you tedder it and turn it over, and then allow it to dry again, which will give you a hay. But for the purposes of doing this, this absolutely works brilliantly. Field 18 is great because there's plenty of room, which means you can drive big long loops round, which means your baler and your windrower and stuff like that won't have a problem at all. So I'm going to carry on whizzing around doing this, making hay with this wondrous new piece of equipment. I haven't invented it, obviously, and I'm sure there are people who've done modding and they've gone out and they've had a look and they've done this already, but I just thought I'd give it a go. I wasn't sure, I hadn't seen it done before. I would try it and see if it works, and it does, so I'm more than happy. because I wasn't sure how much hay would make how many bales. I'm not entirely certain at the moment. What I've done is parked up the Massey Ferguson at the back there. I've done one loop around the field. What I'm going to do now is windrow it, then I'll bale it, see how many bales I've got, and if I haven't got 16 then I'll just do a little bit more until I've got 16. So I've got the windrow on the back, so I'll lower that and turn it on, go over what I've just done and windrow this all up, and then I'll go over with the baler, the mod baler, and bale up hay bales. It's actually working way better than I thought it would have done. It's I had a theory in my head. I thought, well, you know, it's only worked really because those new NovaCat mowers, because you can link them together. Before you had to have a mower on the front, mower on the back. You couldn't then attach anything else to it. Now that can be one complete unit. Putting that on the front means you've still got your rear 3-point linkage for then putting other bits of equipment on. And I know it's not conventional. It's probably not done in the real world, but it works. So you know what? Give it a go. Now it's the turn of a very dirty stayer terrace and the Challenger square baler. Now hopefully this will work. Turn on baler. Because I already had some in there, it's automatically swapped it and put it into hay, which is great. So go around, see how many bales I get. The bale counter should be reset because it's obviously I've come back out of the game and come back in again to record the next bit. So hopefully, I'm not quite sure how many I'm going to get to. I'm not going to get 16 out of this one pass. So but I am now baling hay. Little symbol down the bottom right hand corner in blue, little potato shaped thing with a little, I don't know if it's an asterisk, I can't really tell. That tells you it's hay. If it was just a little potato shape, it's grass. So this process I will continue until I've got 16 bales. I could have done this on field, which one is it? Field 20, the smaller field, but I haven't been over on 18 yet, around the castle, so I thought, you know what, while I'm here, might as well have a bit of a trip around the castle. Missed the grass I'm supposed to be picking up. Not grass, hay, get it right. When I get to the end of this loop, we'll see how many bales we've got. I can work out roughly how many more I need to do and what pass I need to do with the mower and tedder. I do like that combination, the mower and tedder. It works really well. Okay, if I stop there, turn off the baler, and unload the bales I've got in it. It should be 2 in it. There we go, and then there'll be the start of this 1,114 litres of another bale in there. So I'll just pull this to one side, turn that off, and let's have a look. What does it say? Created bales 8. Okay, so I'll probably need to do another swing around the entire field to get my 16. And that's the last of it for baling. We'll see what we've got. So, turn off baler, unload baler. And let's check and see how many we've got. $16. That's perfect. Couldn't be better. Okay, so lift the pick up and fold the baler. It's done a cracking job. Well, it all has. It's worked really, really well. So, next job then. Turn off the ignition, jump out. Let's get these picked up. Don't know why I keep doing that, jumping out. I don't think I leave my finger on the shoulder button long enough. So, let's put the pickup down. I think the first bale's around. So I'll do 2 loops around with this, pick up 16 bales, and these will go back to the farm as well. So following a racetrack. Actually, I might be able to do alternate. That'll work. It does seem to have dropped them kind of alternately, which is going to work out perfect. And then the last 2, and we'll get those back to the farm. Really impressive, all this equipment. It's worked perfectly. So put that up, and we'll head these back over our hay bales to the farm. So there you have it, back at the farm. This is the end of the episode. It's been an interesting one. Some different methods for hay making. Done some square bales, bit of contracting. Another busy episode, same as they always are. But I'm back at the farm, and I'm going to dump off this load of hay bales. So I've now got straw bales and hay bales, which I can use as well to make power food. I might do another episode, not a whole episode, but part of an episode, where I might make some more silage bales and have these stacked next to it as well, so it will give me some options. Because I've got all of the loose stuff just over here, the straw, the grass and the silage, but then I'll have the bale versions as well. So, let that go. Drive this forward very, very gently. And fold it up. And that's it. End of the episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. Would love to have you on board. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share the video, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.